Hello and welcome back to Single Sounds, the only podcast that interviews singles, and you as the listeners of this podcast can write in if you like the sound of them. I am Katie Mack, the creator and host of this blind matchmaking or vanity-free dating method, whatever you want to term it. This week's guest is dating intentionally. She wants someone active, but also more specifically, someone who loves her favourite iconic duo of olive bread with oil and balsamic vinegar. She is always the last one standing on a night out and never wants it to end, and would also like someone to join her on these late nights. You will have to tolerate her being 10 to 20 minutes late, and she can be very indecisive on small decisions. She is currently writing a cookbook, which sounds super interesting, and she very generously shares a whole trilogy of dating stories with us on this recording, which you don't want to miss. Her perfect guy will probably recognize all the film and movie quotes that she says off by heart. He will also probably be wearing a backwards cap, and he'll definitely not complain to wait staff after the meal. As her friend says, she can be a bit picky when it comes to dating, but she knows what she wants, and that is someone to join her with the live music cozy pub sing-along. Hi, welcome to Single Sounds.
Hello, Katie. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Happy you're here. So let's dive into your profile, your who, what, where. So first question is, who are you sexually attracted to?
Men.
Great.
Yeah.
And what are you looking for?
I'm dating intentionally, so yeah, I'm looking for just someone who is up for a good time and, you know, around the age of probably, I'd say 27 to 37.
Okay.
Like quite broad.
Yeah.
I'm 33, so yeah, I'm kind of open to a bit younger, a bit older, and preferably living in London, but also if there's any listeners outside of London and abroad.
And abroad.
Yeah, anywhere. Somewhere in Spain would be nice.
Basically anywhere.
So yeah.
How about height?
Height would be, I think anything, I'm 5'9".
Yeah.
5'9", 5'10", so probably like 5'11" plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no such thing as too tall because I like dressing up and yeah. But yeah, I'd say
wear heels.
I'm quite open though, you know, like it's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, if you meet someone in person and they're
yeah.
like the same height, are you fine with that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, all good.
Me too. Yeah, I think like on the apps it's easy to be judgy about the height, isn't it? When actually like so much of the people you meet in person, you're like, you don't really think about it that much.
I mean, more recently I've got like 5'6", like people that are 5'6", 5'7", and I just think, oh,
on the apps,
no,
yeah.
I can't do it. I'm afraid it just it's odd, but
it's when you see the number, I think you're just like, oh no.
Yeah.
But no, I always say my height or above. I feel like shorter, my ego can't take that, unfortunately. That's a me problem, not them. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and you already answered the where. Do you want to live in London like long term?
Yes. So I'm based in Southwest London, and I'm from the Midlands. So I'm a teacher, so I'm actually like really open to living like anywhere in the UK.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm quite like
move,
I moved I've moved a few times, and yeah, I'm quite open to like, you know, experiencing new places and yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Love it. Very open.
Making it wide. It's good.
Okay, let's move on to the 3 A's. The first A is acceptance. First question is, what would your therapist say about you?
So my therapist would say, first of all, she needs to go to bed earlier because whenever I go on a night out with my friends, I'm always the one that's like, let's go to another place. Yeah. Let's get another drink.
You always want to extend it.
100%. I'm actually like, when I go out, I'll like opt for getting the night tube or the night bus. Like many a times actually I've just like made friends on the night bus with people and like, like if I go, the night out can snowball, but yeah, I just love it. I love dancing and I love live music. It's a massive part of my life. So yeah. And also my therapist would also say that I'm a nightmare with geography. I literally, as well, when I'm with my friends, they're just like, you're a nightmare, but I'll be late somewhere and I just follow the blue dot on my phone. So I've lived in London for 6 years and I still don't really know where anywhere is. I just rely on City Mapper.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
City Mapper's life.
And I'll just like realise I'm going the wrong way and then walk back on myself. And
that is so annoying.
Yeah.
Sometimes the dot doesn't align, like the arrow doesn't point the right way.
Yeah, exactly.
That is really frustrating.
And like if I go to a pub quiz, like if someone was like draw a map, I couldn't, like, of the world. I know it's really bad, but
I mean, mine would be a little bit questionable, to be honest.
I'm a primary school teacher as well, so I feel like I can allow myself, you know, I'm constantly just teaching, you know, the main continents. I know where they are.
Yeah, exactly.
But aside from that, yeah, I'll just get on a plane and hope I'm going the right direction.
That's funny. No, I'm the same about the late nights. Like, it's a problem.
It's just fun. Like, I love like seeing the characters of a night out.
Yeah, I just don't want to go to bed. That sounds boring.
Yeah.
I'll go to bed tomorrow.
If I was dating someone, they were like, let's go to bed early. I'm just like, oh no, I'm sorry, I can't do that.
I've had that. I dated someone that wants to go to bed at 10. It fucking sucks.
No, yeah, it's not fun. And also, I just love like knowing that, okay, I'm one of these people that if I go to a festival, I'm like, I'm just going to lock eyes with someone and fall in love with them. And you're like, it's better than the apps if you just like, yeah, we just met at like Five Guys, you know, or like we just met on the street. Yeah, I met someone at Five Guys.
Yes, you're just elongating your night so that the potential of meeting someone at Five Guys might happen.
I think like the drink as well, like adds a bit of confidence. So you kind of strut through and I'm kind of listening to songs with my AirPods in. I assume everyone else can hear the same music.
I know.
I'm just like dancing around. Like,
I did that the other day. I filmed myself and I thought the music would come through the camera.
Oh,
but it didn't. So I watched it back. So I wanted to send it to my friend of me just dancing to Taylor Swift, and it was the worst thing I've ever seen. And I was drunk, and I just deleted
like muted,
it.
yeah.
I never sent it. I probably should because it was funny. But I was like, I thought the music would come through and they'd get it, but no.
Oh no,
it was awful. But yeah.
Re-edit it, send it out again.
Just add the
try and find
on.
the sound on TikTok or something. Yeah.
That's really funny. I could have done that. Okay, next question is, what is your toxic trait?
So my toxic trait is definitely being late.
Okay.
I'm on average 10 to 20 minutes late for everything.
Okay, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad. It's consistently 10 to 20 minutes.
I guess like if someone's dating you, they just end up knowing that.
Yeah, I also think it's quite nice. Like, I love being early for a date because then they're like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry I'm late. You know, and I'm like, yeah, it's
That's
fine.
Interesting.
Yeah, if I'm early, I feel like, oh, well, I'm more organised than you are. So I'm actually doing them a favour by being a bit late.
Yeah,
and they can like suss whether or not where they want to sit. They can suss out, like, they can maybe say, like, do you want to get you a drink? Like,
text you before. Yeah. I'll be like, I'm not here. Like, I'll get you one.
Yeah. I'm more organised than you are. It's an ego boost.
You're giving them like a one-up. Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah.
No, I actually had someone that recently booked a date for me, and he told me it was booked for 7:30, but I'm like the most punctual person you'll ever meet. Okay. But clearly he's dated lots of women who are not.
They're late,
So he was like, oh, when I arrived on time, he was like, oh, the booking's actually like 8. I was like, oh, he gave me like half an hour leeway. It was, we had like a little bit of a walk to get there, but we still got there 20 minutes early.
Okay.
And luckily the table was there, so it was fine. But I thought that was so interesting that he'd already scheduled in like a half an hour buffer.
He must just be,
because I don't do that because I'm on time. But yeah, like
maybe he's got a lot of sisters.
But if that was you, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, I would have got there just on time.
Yeah,
he'd been like, yeah, don't worry. No
he would have been like, don't worry, the table's actually for 8, not 7:30.
Table's later.
Yeah,
notes in advance. I feel like another toxic trait of mine is definitely decision making. So like, I will big decisions quick, small decisions. Like if I go shopping, I'm like, oh, what do I want for dinner? Oh gosh, maybe this, maybe that. Like,
and like food on a menu.
Yeah, oh, menus is the worst.
I'm actually the same.
Even just drinks, like
big decisions I'm really good at. Small ones, rubbish.
Yeah. I need someone to just make all my decisions for me.
Yeah. I always say they need to develop an app that tells you like what you're fancying like on that day. So if you go into a restaurant, it can like just somehow tell you that, oh, this thing is what you'll enjoy the most. Like that would be life-changing.
That would sell. You should totally do that.
I don't know how on earth you develop it.
I feel like that's how Gusto is like making its millions, because it just, you make your decisions, you select what you've done for the week, for like food prep and stuff.
I'm a HelloFresh galley at the moment.
Are you?
Do you do any of that?
So I do a lital bit, but I eat out a lot as well.
Yes,
so
that's
I
why I've got the
throw all of
HelloFresh.
it away. It's like HelloFresh, goodbye fresh. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it comes, it goes, it's the end. So yeah, but basically, for me, I just live on like, you know, if I'm gonna go out, I'll just get something on the fly, and then like ready meals for me. I know all the Waitrose, all the M&S ready meal options, like,
and the Tesco for me.
Yeah, like, and I stand there for half an hour. What should I eat? And then I'll just like eat the same thing that I eat
Yeah.
all the time. That's my
Yeah.
favourite. But no, I'm actually writing a cookbook at the minute, which is
Oh.
I didn't say before, but
That's really fun.
Yeah, I'm half Serbian and half Scottish.
Okay.
So I'm mixing like a menu from Serbia to Scotland of all my grandparents' like old recipes. Yeah,
That's so cool.
That's keeping me busy, and sometimes I have like leftovers from trialing to make something from
one of these recipes.
yeah. Old-fashioned recipes. So
that's really
yeah,
cool.
I've got like more like excess food for that.
Have you got like a publisher? How does that work?
I'm gonna hope that, so I'm making it on Canva, and I'm gonna hope that I can just sell it on Amazon, and I might pay money for like a hardback version of it.
It's gonna be like a digital.
It's not really a book for profit, although that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, if it kicks off.
it's more, I thought about just giving it to my family as like a Christmas present.
Oh, cute.
Both sides. I could just be like, yeah, I've made you all a cookbook, done.
That's good. Yeah.
So yeah, it's been going for like a year now, still making the recipes though. So it's now next Christmas. Rather than last Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Wholesome.
Yeah. It's really wholesome.
I'm really wholesome. I'm a good wife. I can cook.
Yeah, fair. I can't, so that's why I have the HelloFresh. Helps me.
Yeah, sorts you out.
I feel like I'm
At
cooking.
least you're cooking from the HelloFresh box though. You can cook. Yeah.
That's the thing, like it actually does teach you a lot. Like I try and pick more challenging ones. Helps me improve.
Yeah, you force yourself to do it.
Yeah, like I make curries now all the time. Like I probably wouldn't make that if it didn't tell me to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's and as well, like you eat something sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. I've never had this before.
Yeah.
Like orzo, or you know, like you say, dumplings.
Exactly, literally. And I had like this halloumi curry the other day, and it was so good.
Oh, nice.
And it's great. You get to keep the little leaflet.
Yeah.
Can try and make it again.
Yeah.
Love it.
Beaut.
I do love it. Big fan. Sadly, I don't have any HelloFresh discount codes.
Oh.
No, I do actually, because, yeah, if you want one, DM me.
Yeah. You can plug it on here.
I'm not plugging it on the podcast because
Sponsor.
they do not sponsor the podcast. May as well at this point.
Yeah.
Just giving them free advertising. Okay. Next section is adventure. First question, and my favourite, is what is your worst dating story?
Okay, so my first ever experience of dating was on Tinder.
Oh, God.
Way back when it like first came out.
Yeah, probably the only app, right?
Yeah, it was like Plenty of Fish.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was like uni days. But that was like only, I think, for like,
was that just a
nice
website? Or did it have an app?
I don't think so. When I was at uni, I didn't even have an iPhone.
Yeah,
I had like a Sony
fair,
Ericsson, so I think it didn't have an app. It was a website. Yeah, it was full on old school online dating.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Tinder had like just come out, and someone texted me saying, "Hey, I'm sure you get this all the time, but did you want to come over my house share and eat 2-minute noodles, chicken flavour, of course."
Because you're uni, right?
Yeah. Then we can watch Transformers, and when Optimus Prime has got us sufficiently aroused, we can have robot sex and shout Autobots transform whenever we change positions. After this 1 to 2 minutes of sex, I'll be really tired, so I'll sniff or stroke your hair, then go to sleep. For breakfast, we can have more 2-minute noodles and drink some milk, of course. And then in brackets it says BYO milk. Sound good? And this was like my very first few like matches. This was like one of my first ever matches.
BYO milk.
BYO milk, yeah, absolutely classic.
Is that because he's stingy about the house communal milk, do you think?
God,
because that was always a drama.
I feel like it's breakfast as well. Yeah, it is a drama in a house.
Yeah, like who has the milk?
I feel like he just maybe mentioned that because it was breakfast time. I don't know.
Yeah,
like, people have milk with cereal.
Funny.
So that was like my
or is he lactose intolerant? That was the other thing I thought.
Maybe. So yeah, needless to say, that didn't lead to a date. Like one of my first like official strange dates, not like a bad date, but like a strange date was I will always say, if you like someone, you like someone. It doesn't really matter about the activity. Like you don't have to go for like the best bar. Like you could literally go for like
anywhere.
Coffee in the park. Anyway, so I love walking around like nice food, like M&S and Waitrose, big ones are my favourites. Like I love walking around looking at all the pretty things on the shelves. So I suggested to a guy that we would go to Waitrose for a date. But also I wasn't living in London at this point. I was like outskirts in the Midlands, so we couldn't drink because the nearest so he lived quite far away, and I was like, let's meet in the middle. There's like a big Waitrose, like should we just go shopping? So he was like game. So
it could be really fun, to be fair.
Yeah, so we met and I like fancied him right off the bat. I thought it was really cool. And so I was like walking around Waitrose buying all this like extravagant food, like sourdough. Like I was only like 24 at the time, but I was like, yeah, of course, sourdough every day. Like sourdough, like posh, like ketchup. Do you know what I mean? Just like random things. But it was really good to get a sense of like what he was like and what sort of brands he likes and what sort of food he would choose.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a second date.
Oh,
but there we go. So that was like a funny
Probably thought your taste was too expensive. He's like,
maybe.
For a 24-year-old, he's like, Christ, I can't keep up with this sourdough.
I think he honestly just came on the date for like the story to say his
the plot.
This absolute crazy gal has taken me to Waitrose on a date.
That's really funny.
My absolute worst date ever was in COVID times, and I went out with this guy. And it was when all the shops were, so all the like pubs and stuff were shut. The big shops were open, but all the little like, all the train station shops were shut.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I texted before and I was like, shall I bring cans? We were going to like the London Eye and we were just going to like have a little walk on the South Bank.
Oh, yeah, it's nice to sit there.
Yeah, it was sunny. And he was like, no, like, we'll get drinks when we get there. Please, trust me. Like, and I was like, you sure? Like, I'm sure they're not open. I hadn't been in Central London. I don't work in Central. And he was just like, no, just like, please, like, just come, it'll be fine. Got there, lo and behold, they're shut. Then as soon as I met him, he was like, well, you search for somewhere that's open then. And I was like, sorry. Like, I had said, like, I'll bring the drinks. So then, honestly, like,
he's probably just really embarrassed.
I'm one of these people that I don't want to like get angry on a date. I'm just like, do you know what? I'm not going to date you again, but I'm not going to make you feel like if you're having a bad day and you're frustrated about this, it's fine. So I did the worst thing and decided to get my maps out. I was like, I'll find a place, of course. So I led us to this like really dodgy off-licence in the middle of London Bridge. It was closed. Then I like couldn't get us to the next one because of my awful geographical skills. And he started to get angry with me. And I think he thought he was being funny. And he was like, God's sake, you just can't leave. But I was like almost crying at this point. So I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
Also, you knew that they were going to be shut.
Yeah, I know. And we finally, after an hour of walking, felt like that. I just wanted to leave the day at this point because he just wasn't like an optimistic guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm quite an optimistic gal.
So pessimistic.
He was pessimistic. We finally got to a place, got some beers, sat down.
I couldn't even enjoy them.
He just started talking about his ex and how like it was like, you know, tragic. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. And like, I hadn't been out in ages. It was peak COVID. Nowhere had been open for ages. I was really looking forward to just getting out of the house. I was like getting cold. Like, he didn't offer me his jacket. I was just like, this is tragic. And then basically like, he didn't get tearful, but he was just like, I'm really sorry. Like, I know this is a bad date, but like, and I was just like, yeah, it is. Like, if I'm being honest, like, you've just got mad at me. Then this, like, street artist that was on the South Bank, like, came to us and tried to sell his music to us. Okay. And was like, buy my CD. And then, like, the worst thing happened, he got mad at the street artist as well. And he was like, just leave us alone. And I was like, oh, I'm sure you're great. Like, don't worry. Like, keep going with the music. And like, you know, when you just don't align with someone. Yeah. And it ended... I was just like, oh, I'm really sorry. I need to just leave this date now. I was really trying. It'd been a while.
Sounds like you stayed for a long time.
Yeah, I like powered through with this date. It was for sure the worst date ever. And then, yeah, like he seemed to, when I was like hinting that I was going to leave, he was just like, what? I feel like sometimes on dates, I'm so overly friendly that I almost like make someone, even if I know I don't really like them, I kind of make them feel like comfortable and like I like them sort of thing. And he's just like, what? No sec. Oh. And then he was just like frustrated. And I was like, it's fine. Let's calm down. Yeah, it just went from bad to worse. But I made it home okay. He texted me after the date and he was like, I'm not normally like that on dates. Like, I'm sorry if you had a bad time. Let's definitely go out again. I was just like, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, with the best will in the world, like, I think it's gone too far. It's gone beyond.
No.
But
also, like, your second date would have been so awkward because you would have still been reminiscing about the weird angry first one.
Yeah, like,
you can't really recover.
I think you need
that.
to be in a place to date where, yeah, you need to be in like a nice kind of spot of your life where you're open to meet new people. And you're not like, I'm just going to treat this as a therapy session. And like all his anger just seemed to come out of me. And I'd like got my nails done. Like not got my nails done, but I'd like had my own little self-manicure at home. And
you probably weren't like date ready. So you got date ready.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot. Like girls get ready. I will like always think, oh, this guy might be like someone I really like, so I need to make sure that like he sees me at my best, you know?
Yeah.
So you take your time.
No, I don't get that. You never know how much effort to put in visually.
Yeah.
So you always go for like just the most, just in case.
Yeah.
We got a whole trilogy of date stories there.
Yeah, sorry, that was a lot.
No, I love it.
There are more in the archives.
You can save that for the date.
Yeah.
I feel like people love talking about that on dates, like I do.
They do.
It's fun. It's fun.
They like it.
Yeah. And what is the award you should be nominated for?
I should be nominated for basically assuming that other people recognise a quote off a film or TV show and like finding me hilarious for saying it within like conversation. Like I'll just say random things that aren't even a well-known quote from like The In-Betweeners or like anything Jack Black actually, like School of Rock, Nacho Libre, like Gavin and Stacey.
Oh yeah, I love Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah, I'll just say, you know, like whenever anyone asks for ID, you know, because I've still got my youth, even though I'm 33, I'll be like, oh, you have my word. And like, they're like, sorry. And my friend's like, what? Just get your ID out. And I'm like, oh, it's from Will, remember?
I don't know.
He basically goes into the pub. It's like the first season of The In-Betweeners. And he's just like, you have my word. Like, don't worry. Like, you don't need to ask for my ID.
Yeah, when they go to that pub.
This is a classic
like
example
pub,
of like, the award that I should be.
No, I've watched the episode, but you're right. Like, I can't remember the line.
Yeah, so... Yeah, everyone says it to me all the time. They're just like, just stop saying weird things. And I'm just like, oh yeah, but if you knew it,
it would be good.
If you knew it, you'd find me hilarious.
I think it's endearing.
Yeah, it's
hopefully
like
you can find someone that's also like really good with quotes. I feel like some people are.
Some people are as well, and I think when you have someone that has a similar humour level to you, it's pretty magic because you can just vibe off like knowing each other well and you know. Yeah. Saying things.
Okay, let's move on to affection section. We're going to answer both.
Okay.
Because why not? We can do whatever we want on this podcast.
We can do what we want. It's a free country.
We can break the rules.
Yeah. There are no rules.
The first one is what are you weirdly attracted to?
I'm weirdly attracted to, I don't think this is weirdly attracted to, I think lots of girls will agree with me, when a boy wears a backwards cap.
Yeah, I don't agree with you.
Yeah, it's a weird one. There's definitely a trend on TikTok. Don't know what it is. I feel like they just, I don't know whether or not it's like boy next door, like I've just come from sports. Like, yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I think it's just, sometimes I feel like it's just like a cool guy look. Yeah. You know, like you're pretty
maybe
cool
it's like
if you're wearing a cap.
Thing. Like,
yeah, it's
I'm
like
wearing it the wrong way around and I like it. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm really attracted to.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not for me. I find it boyish. But I mean, if you're hot enough, you look good and everything. So.
This is true. Yeah. Forwards cap, backwards cap, no cap.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All caps, no caps. And what is your biggest ick?
Would definitely be complaints after the meal to wait staff.
Yeah.
I went on a date once and he was like, I really haven't enjoyed this brunch. I'm going to say something. I was like, just please don't, because you know what? Don't shoot the messenger. And he
also,
did. And
after,
I was just like,
you're right. That's really pointless.
Yeah, it was just, we'd eaten the
when
meal,
it comes.
and then exactly like complain when it comes and then say we don't. And I was like, it's fine. It was like beans on toast or something. It wasn't like that crazy. And he was like, yeah, the meal's just really not been good. And I was just like, what do you want this girl to do?
You've eaten it all.
Yeah, it was very...
You can't do that.
I just felt awkward as well. I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
No, you know what? It's one meal. You have like, 3 meals a day, 365 days a year. It's one meal. It's not a lot. Also, another thing that gives me the ick is when someone texts you, right? Okay. They don't capitalize properly. Like they'll put an I in the middle of a sentence as lowercase.
I don't know how they do that though, because my phone corrects me.
Same. So
how do they do it?
I don't know. But yeah, it's another bit of an. I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but for me, I'm just like grammar. Come on now.
On your laptop, maybe.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I know it's a weird one. Pinky rings are kind of an ick for me.
Oh, what, the signet rings?
Yeah, like I feel like they're just like, I'm wealthy, you're not.
Yeah.
But not a deal breaker again, you know. Everything I'm like, let me just put a little label on
caveat.
This. Not a deal breaker.
Just something I've noticed.
And also, boys that wait outside of the pub before you get there. Like, just, you're an adult. Go into the pub.
That's such a good
down.
one.
Like, if I get to a pub early, I'm going in. I'm saying hi to the barman.
Yeah.
Getting the good seats. But people
That's
have
a really good one.
Yeah, like people that are like standing waiting for me. Like, I know I'm really late all the time. So if I'm late, they're like, they've been standing out there for a while.
Yeah.
And then they're like, it's like, are you too nervous to go into a social space?
On your own, yeah.
On your own. And also, like, just like grow up a bit. Like, have you never been out on your own? You know, like before.
Yeah.
You've got to wait for me. And then you've got the awkward, like, oh, hi,
Never
is that
thought of
you?
this
And
one.
yeah, I like it when they've gone in, they've even text maybe saying, like, what would you like to drink?
Yeah. It's so interesting because now I'm thinking about it. I do get there often first. And I just go and sit.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it, but
Yeah.
I would never stand outside.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so
But you're right. Now I'm thinking about it. There's been a few dates and they've always been the worst ones where I've got there and he stood outside.
Yeah. Yeah, he heard it here first.
Yeah, I think this is like it's like a cheat code of like how the date's gonna go.
If he's waiting there, just say sorry.
It's not gonna work.
I feel ill.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not gonna work.
Sorry, I feel ill because you're stood outside.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. But I think that's it for the ick list, to be honest. And I also think, like, people can change, you know?
Yeah.
So if you are someone that
outside.
complains and you've now listened to this podcast and you've reflected, and that's growth, you know? And if you realise you need to proofread your Hinge messages and not put a lowercase I, then there you go.
Well done.
It's an educational podcast as well as a date one. For
No,
all the boys out there.
I would agree. Any voice listening, they're like, fuck, I stand outside the pubs all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, go in and just be
normal.
Be a little bit confident and just...
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, go for it.
I love that. I've learned so much. Okay, this is your friend's summary of why someone should date you.
Ooh, interesting.
Excited?
I'm excited, yeah.
I love this bit.
Why you should date my best friend. Pro, she is a yes person. When it comes to her friends, she's the number one support and is up for anything. Want to go to a random concert of a band that no one's heard of? Sure. You're going to run a triathlon in Valencia in 2 months' time? Great, she can't even run 5k yet, but she'll train with you and she's already booked the flight. You're going to quit your job, move to Vietnam, become a surf instructor. She may give this one a bit more thought, but she will probably come with you. She's always wanted to live abroad. Con, she is a yes person. She's always double booking herself. She'll probably end up being late for your date, so make sure you tell her about 30 minutes before the actual time you want to meet. She's also so enthusiastic about trying new things that she'll often say yes and pay the money without thinking things through. She once got so into the January wellness and diet craze that she paid an Instagram life coach £200 to write her a meal plan. Opened up the meal plan, first thing on it, Cocoa Pops for breakfast. Safe to say she was disappointed. So go ahead, plan a fun date for her, just don't make her regret saying yes to this one. Pro, her patience and caring nature. Every day she works with numerous annoying, loud and obnoxious people. Sorry, children, some with very complex needs. She does it all with a smile on her face and still has energy to go to dance classes, see her friends, go to the theatre, and she'll even remember to bake something for that random girl's birthday at school. In a relationship with you, she'll give you all the time in the world and make you feel really special. Con, because she has a heart of gold, she is also a bit of a hopeless romantic. She's probably watched too many rom-coms alone in her Clapham flat share. This has led to her becoming Little Miss Picky when it comes to dating. She'll tell me things like, oh, I didn't like how the guy sat, or his laugh was a bit weird, or he's colourblind, and isn't that like a major red flag? All of these are just random excuses that translate to mean she just didn't get that feeling. She really wants a genuine guy with an adventurous spirit who can organise something fun and a bit different, and not to be a cliche, but sweep her off her feet a bit. And she deserves it. She is genuinely the most beautiful, loving, and hilarious person. She's a joy to have in my life, and you'd be so lucky to have her in yours.
That was like the best one ever.
I picked my friends wisely.
It was just so well articulated.
Shout out to Holes. She's so great. But yeah, she's right. I am a bit picky, but I feel like do you know what? I feel like I'm actually not picky. I just feel like when I know that I like someone, I know that I like them.
Yeah, it
I'm
sounds
kind
like
of go hard or
sure.
go home.
Yeah.
Like there's no point wasting people's time.
Yeah.
And
I
I feel
agree.
like if we don't gel, there's no point. she's also right on like yes person. I like over commit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I would just be like busy doing everything. But that was so sweet.
It was
though.
so sweet.
Yeah.
I was laughing a lot through it, but now I've forgotten everything.
Yeah, the colourblind
Oh
thing.
yeah, wait, what
I
was
went on
that?
a date with
What was
someone.
that red flag?
So I went on a date with him, and this was outside of London.
Okay.
And we met like I was actually on holiday because like sometimes I was like having a crossover holiday where some friends were leaving me, some friends were joining me.
Yeah.
So I was on my own for a bit. And then I was like, oh, I'll go on a date, you know, when you're just like bored on your own on holiday.
Yeah.
And we met at a really nice pub and stuff. We were chatting away, like nice guy. And yeah, then he was like, oh yeah, I'm colorblind, and I'm also like, that means I can't drive. And at the time,
really?
yeah, like he was he wasn't just a little bit colorblind. He was very visually impaired, which isn't a problem at all. But I think
It is for driving.
it's a problem if you like in my life, I like travel. And
Yeah.
I know that in my
do a road
future life,
trip.
sort of, I don't want that all to be on me to do like the driving all the time. And I
actually
think,
really get
yeah,
that.
I feel really bad that I was like, oh no, but I feel like I'm picky over like things you're allowed to be picky.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's not in your vision. No, I
yeah.
understand that one. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. But what
the Instagram paying the Cocoa Pops thing, because that's really funny
I
because
can't call this girl out.
I had a PT for like a year.
Yeah.
And I did actually lose like a lot of weight.
Yeah.
He always made me eat Cocoa Pops.
No,
I think it's the thing.
With protein.
Yeah, but I think I remember asking him because I was like, what is it with these fucking Cocoa Pops?
Yeah, so-
he'd always tell me to have Cocoa Pops in the evening if I was like hungry as well, to like fill
Yeah.
me up. I think it's because it's like sweet, but actually it's not too much sugar, and they
Yeah.
do fill out. Like,
What it was like after New Year's, and I was like, oh gosh, like January, I was like, okay, like reset. And it was like, sign up, pay like gold package, 149 quid for like 2 months of like a meal
it's
plan.
pretty good.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was like 6 weeks or something, and it was like meal plans and like workout, and it was like
Yeah.
online coaching and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And I got the food plan through, and she was like, what do you like? And I was like, yeah, quick meals. So it had like Cocoa Pops with milk. So like she'd literally written like with milk, like with protein. And then lunch was like jacket potato and beans. Dinner was like jacket potato. I was like, this is my uni diet. And it was just all this like food that there was no like protein, like, you know, scrambled eggs or like your salmon and chicken like that. I thought
like
it was going to
salads
be.
and stuff.
And yeah, I was just like, this girl, is she even verified? Like,
How many followers did she have?
Very spontaneous. Yeah, I do like very spontaneous with purchases though. Like I sign up to stuff and I'm like, yeah, that band, have a seen? No, I'll go. Like, I'll just get tickets anyway. And I'll just
she
take
said that
day,
you just
like,
buy stuff.
Yeah, I'll just buy stuff without thinking, and
That's
you
funny.
know, it's just a spontaneous part of who I am, I guess.
It's nice, yeah. I've had that a lot on the podcast recently, actually.
Not a
people have been
saver.
saying like they get really influenced by like ads on social media, and they just buy things that they probably shouldn't. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I think like COVID was bad for me. I just shopped every day. I was like, I had all this money coming in and like nothing to do, but I still didn't. You know, some people came out of COVID and they were like, yeah, I saved for a house.
Yeah.
I was like, I have about 50 and other storage jumpers that are very well used.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
Oh well, at least you're self-aware. That's what I always tell people.
It's all good.
It's all good. And you enjoy your life because,
Oh, yeah. Like,
you've got loads of fun stuff.
do fun stuff all the time. I mean, like, if you're not having fun, what's the point in living?
You said you really liked doing dance classes.
Yeah, love a dance class.
What do you do?
So I trained when I was younger in like ballet, tap and modern. So yeah, I'll do like a bit of hip hop or a bit of salsa. I like love the Amdram scene. Like I'll audition for shows and stuff. So yeah, someone that is up for like going and seeing. Like I recently just came back from Seville. We saw like live flamenco. It was amazing. It's so good. So and now I want to be a flamenco dancer.
Yes,
so
you're going to take up that.
I'm sorry. So if anyone listeners from Seville, I'll be moving there shortly. But yeah, I love dance and I love comedy. And I love like live music, like festivals are like festivals combine all of that. So they're my favourite places.
To Glastonbury?
Sadly, let's not talk about Glastonbury.
Okay,
I've been twice and I
fine.
didn't get tickets this year.
Oh. At least you've been.
Yeah, I've experienced it. So yeah. But yeah, I am hoping to like set up a festival for the summer, maybe like abroad. I've been to Benicassim before. There's like Exit Festival,
Oh,
like a hot festival.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So yeah.
Okay,
All the fun.
let's wrap it up. What is your one word review of yourself?
Enthusiastic.
Nice.
Reason being, I just feel like
Good word.
whatever you're passionate about, I can also get passionate about that. Like
Yeah.
if you love it, I'll get into it as well. Like,
I feel like you've really given that energy throughout this.
Someone was like, oh yeah, watch it. And I was like, and then I watched like Money Heist, for example.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
was great.
I love Money Heist. Like Moscow, best rubber ever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if you're watching something, I will get into it.
Yeah.
Like I'm quite easy. I love like sci-fi and all the films.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds great.
All the music, all the films.
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for
It was so
having
much
me.
fun.
I've loved it.
Great. So if you need a bit more enthusiasm in your dating life in May 2024, you know what to do. Write into the podcast at Single Sounds on Instagram to get her details, or you can email the podcast, which is singlesoundspodcast@gmail.com, and you will be lucky enough to get her details and hopefully arrange a fun date, maybe in Waitrose, if you like the sound of that. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you back here next week where I have a lovely single male of London. Have a great week, guys. Bye.